that Satan would help them avoid responsibility because they made many sacrifices to him. One guy said that he tried to turn to God beforehand, but it didn't bring him any money. So he prayed to Satan and things improved. And it's like, that's the misconception by people, is that...
You want money? Go to work.
The misconception by some people is if you do evil things... you're impressing Satan. Or if you do things for him in his name, he's going to repay or reward you.
No, he's going to reuse you.
Right, until he's done.
Until he's done.
He's
until you're
Satan.
Done.
It's like, it's evil.
Yeah, don't think that,
evil.
you know, I mean, I think people have a thing in their mind. It's like, I'm going to go to heaven, it's going to be wonderful and this and that. And then if I go to hell, well, I'll just have a different leader. And he just won't be as nice, but we'll still be buds for all the things that we did together. It'd be like, he has absolutely zero use for you.
Right.
He doesn't, he's just out to destroy you. And even if you get down there, I mean, and you're with him, I don't know how that's all going to work, but it could be really bad.
And I find it interesting that, like myself, I've been face to face with evil, and it nauseates you, it makes you sick, it haunts you forever, and you have this, your heart races, it's the worst thing you could ever dream of. But then you get these people who supposedly, serve Satan, and I don't think evil has ever presented itself. Evil's never presented itself to them. Because if they did, would they... Are you done?
Yeah, who was that? That did that, and they played it backwards. It was something... Oh, I know. It was something that... You can look it up on YouTube.
What?
You can stretch anything, though. It was something that Obama had said in many different things. And if you play it backwards, it says "Serve Satan." But
I don't think that was real.
you could do that with lots of different words.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was
just
talking about
reminding.
Now.
My mind sometimes just wanders in another direction.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all. Mine does too sometimes, though.
Like when you were putting that flag up outside?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. But so you try to think about these people, if they really knew what evil was, what they were serving, I bet you they wouldn't do it.
Or if they could see a true form of evil.
Right. Because I've only seen, a transparency of it, or that's horrible. It's horrible. So I don't know. And people who have said they've been possessed and they've encountered evil, they say the same thing. So I just can't believe that anybody who really believes in
and it's interesting. Those who have really experienced a true level of fear or are demon or something and have been able to see it or really sense it, they're looking for any way to God they can find.
Yeah.
They're calling us. They're wanting help. I'll do whatever. Whatever you say. They're desperate because they've truly been touched by a dark thing. And they don't want anything to do with it. Oh,
this guy that I knew from high school, his name was Mark. And he was talking to me, and people were like, "Oh, you better not, talk to him. He's really weird. He does this weird stuff in his basement." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" And not a lot of people knew how much of the occult I practiced, so they were telling me that Mark said that his house was haunted. So he buys this book and he tries to communicate with it. Ends up making this huge pentagram in his basement, and they were telling me everything. And these were his friends, and they all got scared because they said that they saw him change. His eyes got dark, and this is back in the 80s. So I'm like, whoa, I got to know more. This is interesting.
You didn't tell me it was a party.
I didn't know he was cool. So, I tried to find out more about him, and he didn't want to talk about it a lot. But I wanted to maybe start dating him. But what happened was he got really weird real fast. And so I was like, nah, I don't think I'm interested. And then I'm at a party, and everybody's like, Heidi, Mark's here. And he had done some kind of spell or I don't know what, and he had cut all his fingertips, and he walked into this party with all his fingertips bleeding, coming up to me, and he was like, I don't know if he was drunk, drugs, trance, or what, but he was like, Heidi, honest to God, I locked myself in the bathroom at this party where there's hundreds of people. I was so scared. It was just like me and him in my mind. And I crawled out the littlest bathroom window, and I ran home. And I told my mom about it. Well, years later, I found out he committed suicide. Oh. But the thing is that he did this stuff, and he thought it was cool. And I remember the only thing him telling me is that evil did present itself to him, and he was able to handle it. And I'm thinking, then they didn't really show you the real form. They held back because there is no way. Just like, what does the Bible say? We can't even come in the presence of God because it's so great. So we can't come in the presence of evil either. It would probably kill us. Wait, doesn't it say in the Bible too that people will see evil
in the end days?
What does it say?
A lot of them will die from a heart attack from fear.
Yeah. So
their heart will fail them for fear.
So when these people think
the
they're
sight
working,
of the sight, not even the real interaction, but the sight of it, will be too much for them to handle.
So people are serving Satan, or they think that they're working with demons, or it's okay, you got a demon in your house. It's not. Get out of there. Repent. Do something. I don't know. That's scary. Okay. Anyways, so on to a different story. Craigslist killers. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I look them up all the time.
Do you know there's been like 86 murders tied into Craigslist? Last I heard. There
Evil
could be
will
more.
find its way. I mean, Craigslist, I use Craigslist all the time to buy and sell things and find stuff, and it's great. But evil will find its way into anything. The computer, the phone, the internet, Craigslist, anything that there's a way of communication, because Satan is what? He is got the power of the airwaves.
Well, I think Craigslist is an easy way for people to use
to
because...
meet, right.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of stipulation and rules, but these two people
got this tractor for sale. Why don't you come over and check it out while I slice you in the throat?
Oh my God, that's sort of what happens.
Yeah,
you hear about it.
Hey, look at that tire.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
that's lovely,
that's
Scott.
how it goes.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like that?
Yeah.
Miranda Barbour and her husband, I don't know if it's Elliot. I think it's Elliot. They were called the Craigslist Killers.
Elliot. Oh.
Not that cute.
Elliot.
You're so creepy. Okay, so originally they seemed like a pair of psychos. They lured a guy to his death via Craigslist simply because they said that they just wanted to murder somebody together. They just wanted a bond.
It's nice to...
Yeah. But soon after being arrested and charged with this crime, Miranda says that she was a serial killer and that she had at least 22 victims. She claimed that all these victims were killed in the name of Satan. And the whole story that she says is that she was raised by a Satanist and brought up in a satanic cult after joining when she was 13. And they were killing people and doing all kinds of sacrifices. And she joined them and just couldn't stop because I don't know if she meant like spiritually she couldn't stop or she couldn't stop because she was sucked into this group. But many people, including her sister, say that these claims are wrong. But the police were investigating it. But the weird thing is that she goes, well, who knows what's real since I'm crazy. So you wonder, like, was she? We don't know if she really was part of a satanic cult. Because when you hear about satanic cults, you don't really know a lot because it's very secretive. I mean, there are satanic cults in this world. People don't believe it.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, and then there's different forms. People like, hey, let's form this cult, and they don't really...
Well, yeah, some of them are,
sugar-coated. They don't really...
they don't.
And then there's the real stuff, and we hear some things about babies being sacrificed. And
October's a rough month. There's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, in October.
That they don't report. But it needs to, if you dig around, you'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find all sorts of wonderful junk going on.
It's Crime Prevention Month because there's so much crime. So, the legit ones will really kill. But they don't just randomly go around killing people. That's not what Satanists do. They have a reason. They do sacrifice animals and things like that and people. But
they're pleasing their God.
Well, good luck with that.
Little G.
And then there was the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Do you remember him in the 80s?
Never met him.
No, no, we never had him over for dinner or nothing. But
ask me if I remembered him. I never met him.
He caused a satanic panic.
Satanic panic.
What's your manic? He even had because of him, there were public service announcements on TV. People were freaking out. They called him the Night Stalker because obviously he stalked people at night. He killed at least 14 women, and it happened in like Los Angeles, San Francisco. But 14 people that they know of in that 1 year.
It's a lot.
Yeah. He was an avid Satanist, but...
it's something to do.
Yeah, it's, everybody has a choice. Yeah. Home invasion, attacking women, raping them, and then murdering them. So that's what he did. Now, he said he did it for Satan, but, I don't know. He did it in a variety of ways with guns, knives, a machete, tire iron, hammer. But see, what happened was he'd leave drawings of pentagrams on the bodies of his victims and then on the walls of their homes. So now people think that there's Satanists running around killing people.
Oh.
You know, when he got caught...
To give a Satanist a bad name.
Oh, God, what are you thinking? But when he got caught, he said he was a minion of Satan sent to earth to carry out atrocities for the devil. So he claimed that, you know, he was doing this for the big S. You know, and I'm wondering, you know, was he already evil and Satan sort of clung to him? Or, you know, did he use it as an excuse? You know, I don't know. But like,
well, definitely sick in some way.
Yeah. So when you are mentally ill, like that one chick, I mean, that Miranda Craigslist chick, what if none of that was true? What if she wasn't a serial killer and stuff? And, you know, she wasn't part of a cult. But the fact that she made up all those lies and thought that or even said that alone isn't normal. You know, maybe that was right. A ploy. Because when you do this stuff, I don't know, the way they do them, the eyeballs gouged out and eating and stuff, that's not normal. Do you remember Son of Sam? Did you ever hear of this song?
Sam I Am?
No, David Berkowitz, the killer.
Oh.
They called him Son of Sam. He claims that demons were speaking to him through his neighborhood dogs, ordering him to kill women. And he sent the police a letter that he was deeply hurt that he was called a woman hater. But he was, in fact, a monster, not a woman hater.
Clarify some things here.
I don't hate women.
I'm a monster, not a woman hater. Let's get it straight.
But
what are you people thinking?
On our Facebook page, I'll put up, they actually show the letters, so I have the letters. But these letters are really, really weird. And this is where I believe that he was demonically oppressed or whatever. So some of the things he said was, I am son of Sam. Okay? Well, he didn't have a dad named Sam. His dad's name was like Phil or something, you know. So, like, we don't know where this came from.
Or Bob.
In his letter, he said, Sam loves to drink blood. Go out to kill, commands Father Sam. That was in the letter. So when you read these letters, it reminds me a little bit of the Slender Man chicks. With the
beat
weird,
that into the ground some more, huh?
With the weird stuff they wrote.
Yeah.
How you're writing in third person.
Third party, yeah. Third party,
weird.
like you're writing for somebody, yeah.
Yeah. And then he also said...
And that was the one thing, too. We talked about the Slender Man thing, too. Is it's like, look at how this is written. And realize who you're dealing with. These are
Scott, why do you have to beat that in the ground?
I just can't help it. That's one thing I caught right away. It's like the writing is just... This is
weird.
Whacked out writing here. This is not how a 12 or 13-year-old girl or 11-year-old...
Yeah.
This is not how you would write.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
And the pictures, too, were weird. So,
on
our Facebook page.
Let's not beat this in the ground.
Okay. But,
you're a ground beater, Heidi.
I am. I can't help it. So, he also said that Sam keeps him locked in the attic and he feels like an outsider and that he's on a different wavelength than everybody. So, some of those were like real spiritual telltale signs, I would think. You know?
Totally different way.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then he, later on in life, after, he was caught and whatever, he was quoted by saying that the demons never stopped. He said, I couldn't sleep. I had no strength to fight. I could barely drive. Coming home from work one night, I almost killed myself in the car. I needed to sleep. The demons wouldn't give me any peace.
No, you're not anybody's friend there. You're a tool.
Right. And that's the problem is people think that they are servants and that they're going to get rewarded.
It's like you're just a tool, you know. And when they feel that the time for your usefulness is up, whatever. And
that's where you get some of these really very, not the charlatans, but the real psychics out there who are really accurate. And sometimes they're wrong, but that's, and that's because they are a really useful tool. I was a very useful tool, and then when I started realizing, I'm not doing this anymore, this isn't right, everything was coming against me. I started being inaccurate, and that was bad. So, and I got very, very sick too.
Many sicknesses, actually, many.
So, turning isn't easy. So, like you said, the devil only possessed one, which was Judas, and will possess the Antichrist. But Satan now did come and talk to Jesus and try to tempt him.
Sure, but he came.
And then in the Bible, there's scriptures of devils possessing.
Yes.
So I don't think...
Turn the rock into bread, yes.
Satan talks like Yoda?
Yeah.
Wow.
All that you see, I will give you.
But see, he messed with Jesus and Judas. So, and they all had to do with...
Both had to do with J's.
No, with salvation.
It's the letter J as demonly possessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we better call our son.
Oh.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh, no.
Great